Okay, this is going to be the F1D build log, episode number 5. This is actually the first time where I'm talking about building other than just tools. In this case, I'm going to describe the way that I do this. It is not a way that I would say has to be done this way. This is the way that I've worked on for quite a while. I read about this. I built a few models doing this in my basement area. And then when I started to build these smaller models, non-quarter scale gliders, sort of RC glider sort of thing, I got back in indoor. I built a small building space. This is actually a piece of galvanized steel. It was the thickest steel I could find at like Home Depot or Menards or Lowe's or one of those. It doesn't really matter. But something galvanized so it's not going to rust very easily. I have a piece of 3/4 inch MDF. This is a lightweight MDF. It stays stable, it stays relatively flat, so you don't need to worry about those sorts of things. And because wood and metal do not increase in size in the same level or same way at different temperatures, I've elected not to actually glue it down. This is just actually put in place and held in place by some screws. And it has a little bit of 1/4 inch ply. This is probably I should say it's, about a 1/4 inch ply. It's probably just basic Luan, and I have little screws. They're probably 1/2 inch screws, probably number 6 or number 8, really doesn't matter. Wood screws, they're partially countersunk. They're put on here, I'm guessing about every 4 to 5 inches, something like that. It's not really, this part isn't really critical. You just need something to kind of anchor them down towards the end and then have it just sort of spaced out, as long as it's pretty simple. These are probably, it's about 1 inch wide, and it's just wide enough there so it can slide this way slightly if it needs to. I've never had any buckling with it coming up at all, but this is what I use. And after I built it, I waxed it a couple of times. You never really have any problems with anything sticking to it. You can scrape it off with a razor blade if ever is needed, because you do get glue on it, but it's a really nice building surface. I used magnets. These are the larger magnets, and then there are some smaller magnets that are available. I will be sure to put a link for the source of these magnets into the video. I've got to look it up and figure out where exactly I got them. It's been 5 or 6 years since I actually did one of these, so it's been a while, or ordered some of these, so it's been a while. So you can see how I actually do this. I have here a bit of, actually a template. This is for Leo's F1D Junior design. I literally took his PDF file he had, and I imported it into, I don't remember if it was AutoCAD or Illustrator. It really doesn't matter. I can work with either one of them, and took out the outer parts of it, and then I took this into the shop and had it laser cut. So I'm kind of a nut like that. I don't like to cut stuff out if I don't have to. It's easier just to have it do it this way, and that way I don't have to worry about it. The way that I would work on this is I would put it down here, and I would actually just put magnets down on it where I need it. And then these littler magnets that I have, these are basically what I would use when I need to actually hold wood in place up against the actual building. What would I call this? The building mat or form or whatever. I don't even know what I would call it. But these pieces of cardboard that I use. These are a very nice building surface. You can build it, it's very accurate. If anything does get stuck, it's really easy to just take a razor blade like this and kind of slide it right under it to actually just get it right off the wood, or right off the metal, I should say. And as I said, a little bit of wax on there. Pretty much everything will pop off, and you don't have any issues with things sticking so much. Would always recommend having a nice stainless steel ruler, just for doing all sorts of different measurements over time. And what else did I wanted to show in this one? Ah, there it is. This, I was talking earlier about bending loads for spars and such. And what I have here, it's going to be a little bit hard to show right here because I'm going to have to kind of look over it. This is a jig that I have redone as an actual testing unit. And let me see if I can find something here I can use just as for illustration purposes. This is a very small piece of brass tubing. I have this little piece here that's attached with a screw and a wing nut here so I can make it nice and tight, and a couple of pieces of, looks to be about 1/8 aluminum here. You can just literally put something in here. I have to move this over a little bit so I can see it, and when you are working on something you would literally just put it like here and adjust it slightly so that it is at your 0 point on your scale. Then you can use I typically just have a couple of pieces of rubber band. I don't have them handy here, so sorry for being unprepared here. But what I would do here for checking this, for keeping the notes in my log, I would say from here to here is 6 1/8 inches. And what I want to do is apply a load to this end, and in this case we'll just use this rubber band just because it's handy, and I'm going to see it bends down from here. I can't really tell, but say it'll be a 1/16 of an inch. This is how you would end up doing bend testing with your wood spars and such. This is a very simple thing to do. The important part is only that you have something that would stick on to the metal, and you have a ruler to be able to test it. And this is how you would do the testing of your spars. The most important part is that when you do these and you match them, or that you mark them, you cut a whole bunch of spars. You tend to mark them all down with the little Sigma pens I had recommended before. And then after you're done, you put a one particular weight. You have to do the same weight for each of them and apply them in the same way. You put the weight here and you'll see exactly how far it'll bend down under that weight. That's how you test the actual spars for stiffness. And basically what you want to do is you want to match the spars when you're building it. So from your left and your right, you'll want to make sure that the left side has matched spars and the right side has matched spars. I think I'll end it from there. I hope this was informative. Have a good evening.